Honestly. So hey, today I wanted to jump online and talk about how to create pre-sale content for your coaching program. So essentially, you have a coaching program or you plan to launch a coaching program around your specific expertise, and you need to be able to kind of just create content outside of that specific program before the program officially launched, or if you've already launched that specific program, you need to be able to create content that's going to attract people to your specific content. So that's one of the things that I wanted to kind of just discuss here with you today, to tell you what are some of the things that you can go ahead and cover from a content standpoint to kind of just pre-sell people into the idea of your specific program. You're going to be able to kind of just pre-sell people and then drive those specific individual to your specific sales process. Now, for a long time, I worked at a university. And when I worked at that specific university, as you can probably imagine, there were a lot of different programs. And there were times where we had to kind of just launch brand new programs. Now, in launching those specific brand new programs, as I was kind of just watching that process, there were some specific things that happened. So when launching a brand new program, what would happen sometimes is you would bring an individual in, so an individual that can go ahead and teach that specific program. And one of the first assignments that specific individual had to do is that specific individual had to come up with a course outline for the individual courses. So if you think about an individual course, let's just say the course is about 3 months. It's 3 months. Inside of that specific 3 months, you're going to have a course objective, meaning that at the end of that specific course, individuals are going to be able to kind of just attain and or accomplish and or comprehend and or master a specific skill. And then you have, let's just say, you have weekly deliverables. Every single week, there's going to be individual milestones as well. Well, the individual that was planning on teaching that specific course, what would happen is that those specific individuals, they would go ahead and present the outline to, say, the dean. And then in presenting that specific outline to the dean, what they would talk about is they would talk about, pretty much the syllabus. They would have, a syllabus that had different expected outcomes. So, week one, they would say, week one, we plan on covering X, Y, and Z. And by the end of that specific time, this is the expected outcome. Week two, we plan on teaching this specific concept. And at the end of this specific week, the individual will learn this specific thing. So that's pretty much what these individuals, came with. They came with a syllabus. And that syllabus pretty much explained to, the dean in this specific instance, this is what I plan to accomplish, and this is what I plan to teach by the end of week one, week two, week three, week four, so on and so forth. So essentially, all that those specific individuals needed was just a syllabus. They just needed an outline. And you kind of just say, if you kind of just take me, for example, one of the things that I did probably a couple of years ago is I launched a program. The program was called Web Selling Method. And essentially, I followed that same model, to be honest with you. And essentially what I did is I had, quote unquote, a syllabus. And the syllabus pretty much says, okay, by the time someone finishes this specific program, this is what I expect them to have learned. I expect them to have a full blown out web selling system that's going to allow them to generate leads and then turn those leads into clients. So that's the expected outcome by the time they complete the entire program. So from A to B, that's what would happen. But that's the entire program. When you think about the individual modules, so module one, for example, in that specific module, I covered, the audience. So for the audience, there's expected outcome for the audience section as well. Inside of the audience section, by the time someone completes the audience module, there's some things that they're going to understand about their audience. They're going to understand who their audience is. They're going to understand how to create the proper content for their specific audience. They're going to understand the demographic and the psychographic of their specific audience. So what I can do in this specific instance, if I were to kind of just create pre-sale content, and I want to kind of just create pre-sale content for my specific coaching program, is I can just take one of those specific modules. I can go ahead and take my audience module, and I can talk about the fact that, hey, you know what? I have a coaching program, and the coaching program is about how to create an entire web selling system. And pretty much the coaching program has 9 different modules, and those 9 different modules will get you to from not knowing how to sell your programs online to knowing how to sell your specific program online. Now, I don't have time today to go over, all 9 of these specific modules, but what I wanted to do today is I wanted to go ahead and just pull from one of those specific modules. Let's go ahead and talk about the audience module. Now, the audience module is very important, and the reason why the audience module is very important is because you have to understand your audience. A lot of people create marketing content because they don't understand who their audience is. They don't understand how to communicate with those specific audience, and because they don't, all of their marketing efforts that they work on end up falling flat. So you see what I just did? Essentially what I just did is I just pulled just the audience module, and I'm just pretty much talking about the audience module. So from a pre-sale standpoint, I can go ahead and just look at my syllabus for my coaching program, or in a specific instance, and I can go ahead and pull just one module, and I can go ahead and just cover and talk about what's inside of that one specific module. When I talk about what's inside of that one specific module, what I'm doing is I'm essentially kind of just pre-selling people on the idea that, hey, I thought about, I have a process. So here's my entire process. And I have different expected outcomes, and I have different modules, and here's what you can expect to accomplish inside of this specific module. Just like when individuals went to school, just like when individuals went to classes, just like when individuals took programs, there's some structure that's inside of those specific programs, and there's expected outcomes. So if you can go ahead and create a syllabus for your specific coaching program, in addition to creating that specific syllabus, have expected outcome for each individual modules, and then take one module at a time, or you can just take one module in this specific instance and just explain just that one module. Explain to people, okay, this is why this module is important. These are the things that we're going to do inside of this specific module, and this is what you can expect inside of this specific module. And this is the role that this module plays in the entire roadmap. Does that make sense? So here it is. This is something that you can definitely use for your specific coaching program, to go ahead and kind of just pre-sell people into the idea of your coaching program. Because remember, your coaching program has an overall expected outcome, just like a course. I'm using the course example because for a long time I was part of a university system, and I worked at a university system, and we had people show us expected outcome for the course, and we had people show us expected outcome for each individual week or each individual module. So that's what you can go ahead and do to go ahead and pre-sell people for your specific coaching program. Now later this week, what I'm doing on Wednesday, actually, I'm hosting a free web class. In the free web class, the title of the free web class is How to Turn Your Knowledge, Expertise, or Service into an Online Coaching Program. So essentially, there's going to be a link somewhere on this specific page whereby you can go ahead and click on that link and register for that specific web class. Or you can go to connectionmessage.com to register for that free web class. And our objective via that specific web class is I'm going to show you how to turn your knowledge, expertise, or service into an online coaching program very quickly. Again, there's going to be a link somewhere on this specific page. Click on that link, and that link is going to allow you to register for that specific free web class. And we'll be able to kind of just go over this specific content as it relates to launching your expertise and your knowledge into an online coaching program. That is it for this specific episode. I'll see you in the next one.